Hello, I'm Gabby Coletta. We're out here in City of Rocks, Idaho, and today's practice is one of inviting Sahaja Vinyasa, or this element of spontaneity, of allowing our consciousness to unfold and allowing us to tune into the natural flow that's within us. Sahaja really invites us to remember that we have this inherent awareness that we're always able to access and may happen in these moments of spontaneous freedom and spontaneous liberation. So, the invitation today is to pay attention, watch as your consciousness unfolds, notice where you place things in a certain or special way, and see what little moments of enlightenment emerge in your practice. You might want 2 bricks, maybe a strap. We're working into bird of paradise, and we will begin in Sukhasana. As you arrive in Sukhasana, perhaps open the palms face up, letting the backs of the hands rest on the lap, inviting a sense of receptivity, opening up to what emerges. Let your eyes soften or close, whatever feels supportive in your body. And then take an arrival breath and inhale, letting the breath expand, opening up space. And sigh the breath out or empty it, pour the breath out, letting the bones settle. And perhaps 2 more arrival breaths as you inhale, find a little length in the spine. Keep the length as you exhale, release. And 1 more arrival breath, allowing the inhale to invite presence in the body as you create expansion, space. And the exhale to allow for release, creating potentiality. We'll begin with Nadi shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. You can take your right hand, pointer and middle finger to third eye center or to the base of the palm in Vishnu Mudra. We'll inhale through our left nostril, seal off the left, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, seal off the right, exhale through the left. I'll guide us through the first few rounds. So when you're ready, go ahead and bring your right hand in front of your face in either of those hand variations. Let's take a cleansing breath in through both nostrils, spine long, shoulders soft. Close the right nostril, empty it out through the left completely. Begin the first round. Inhale through the left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Close left, exhale right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close right, exhale left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. That's a complete round. Do 7 more on your own. You can elongate the breath if you desire, as long as it's balanced, it's even. So Nadi Shodhana, this is the purification of our 72,000 nadis, our subtle energy channels. And it also balances the more lunar energies in the body with the solar energies. When this happens, we can awaken and allow prana to flow through our central channel, Sushumna Nadi, which might support this sahaja, this spontaneous awareness and enlightenment. This breath is also deeply nourishing for the nervous system. It invites a balancing effect. So if you feel anxious or overwhelmed, you can always come to Nadi Shodhana. A couple more rounds as you're breathing. You can even imagine gathering up any excess lethargy, stagnant energy, and kind of clearing that out, or any excess intensity, and clearing that out as well. See if you can pay attention to how the breath is moving through you, where you feel it, if you feel it. Just inviting the breath to be an anchor for your awareness. Maybe even a portal. Wherever you are, finish one last round. When you've completed your round, you'll just release the right hand down. No rush to arrive. And take a moment to tune into any subtle shifts, differences in your state, your mind state, or your physical state. Let the breath find its natural rhythm, its organic intelligence. Bring the palms together. You can keep them in Anjali Mudra, the sign of balance, or open up into Lotus Mudra, just connecting with the heart, connecting with seed and potential. If there's an intention you want to set, please set one now. And then bow head towards heart. Slowly release the hands down. You can keep the eyes closed or flutter them open. Switch the cross of the legs if you were cross-legged. Then drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Melt the chin to the chest, over to the opposite shoulder for a few neck rolls, side to side, just starting to iron out any tension in the neck, maybe pausing in an area that feels tight, using the breath to create space. And I invite you at any point to play with this closing off of the sight. Our eyes can kind of tune us into more of a somatic or kind of tuning into the body senses. Bring your head to neutral. Ground the fingers down, let the spine get long, the crown of the head lift up. On your next inhale, reach the arms to the sky, grow tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Interlace the hands, press the palms forward, round the back, and pull the shoulder blades away from each other. And press the palms to the sky, grow tall. Crescent up and over to the right for a side stretch. And back to center. Up and over to the left. Come back to center, release the right hand down, crescent up and over towards the right again. You'll either come through center or drape the torso through center. Take it over to the other side, inviting a little water element, watery movement into your side bending. Move with your breath on your pace. Every time you find a side bend, can you spiral the heart to the sky, the top pinky finger down? A couple more rounds here. Just noticing what's tight, what's sticky, what's open, what's spacious, side to side. When you're even on both sides, come back to center. Take the hands behind you, clasp the hands. Press the knuckles back, lift the heart, and then bow forward. Find your depth. Slowly lift up, release, reach the arms to the sky, and then through center. Just finding your centering, your focus. We'll meet in table pose, all fours. Make your way there, shoulders over wrists, really spread the hands, hips over knees. Even ground the shins to the earth. On your next inhale, lift the heart, the chest, the chin. Cow pose. Exhale, find cat. Round the spine. Move a few times with your breath, allowing the inhale to open the front of the heart, giving side. And the exhale to open the back of the heart, shoulders pull away from each other, receiving. You can start to invite Ujjayi breath here. A little constriction in the back of the throat, almost the sound of the ocean. And then stay or start to find that element of Sahaja, that spontaneous, free, liberated movement. Just follow any intuitive guidance of your body. If you want to C-curve the spine, sway the hips side to side, do hip circles or barrel the torso. No wrong way to move here, but just really tuning into your physical sensations. And see if you can just pay attention. So often our mind gets drawn into different places, future and past. But can we drop it into the present through feeling sensation, noticing breath, even the space between breath? One more breath here. Come back to your neutral table. Send the right arm up to the sky, open across the chest, and then thread right arm under left. Rest the right shoulder, the right cheek on the earth. You can press your left fingertips down to deepen the twist. Walk the left fingers forward, or take a half bind, left hand behind the back. Thigh bones are straight up and down. Option to extend left leg back, tucking the toes on the earth for a little stretch, or maybe floating the leg for 3, 2, 1. Left knee meets the right. Left arm unravels, whatever variation it's in. Press into the earth. Right arm up, open across the chest. Release the right hand down. Other side, left arm sweeps up. Find this wingspan across the heart, and then thread left arm under right. Rest the left shoulder, the left cheek. Press into the right hand to deepen your twist. If you took an arm variation, go ahead and take it here. Maybe send the right leg back, tucking the toes, or floating the leg. When you're ready, right knee meets the left, right hand frames the face, press into the earth, open left arm to sky, and release the hand down. Start to walk your hands forward, keep your thigh bones straight up and down. Take a big inhale to lengthen the spine. As you exhale, melt your heart towards the earth, Anahatasana. As the heart melts down, can you start to find activation under the armpits, lifting them up, lifting the low ribs up, just allowing the shoulders to melt open. We'll walk the hands back towards you so they're underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes, hover the knees off the earth 2 inches. Pause here, let the collarbones broaden, the crown of the head reach forward, breathe. Hips up and back, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Take a moment to settle into your down dog, your variation. If your shoulders feel tight, take the hands a little wider, space between the pointer and middle finger, face forward. Ground into the L of the hands as you press your heart towards the back of the mat. Rise up onto the tippy toes, and then exhale, sink the heels down, lengthening back of legs. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, lift up, and sink it down. Once more, rise up, and down. Ripple forward into plank, and lower knees, chest, chin to the earth. Slide onto the belly, untuck the toes, take wide arm Bhujangasana, come to tent on the fingers, lift the heart, melt the shoulders back. Exhale, forehead down. Option to add a twist here if you want. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, drop left shoulder, look over right. Inhale, back to center, draw the navel in, tops of feet are pressing down, take it the other way, right shoulder drops, look over left. Come back to center, lift the heart, and release. Take the hands underneath the shoulders, press through all fours, round the back through cat. Take it into child's, knees wide, heels towards sit bones. Take a big breath, let the breath expand the skin on the back. As you exhale, let the sit bones sink towards heels. Walk the hands over to your right. Maybe left hand comes on top of right. Big inhale to open the side body, find expansion. As you exhale, pull the left sit bone back in space. Walk your hands over to the opposite side. Right hand can come on top of left. Big inhale here. And an exhale pulls right sit bone back. Walk the hands forward. Really spread the hands and liven the arms. Rise back to table, all fours. Tuck the toes, hips up and back. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Start to walk your feet towards the front of the mat. Uttanasana is where we meet, forward fold. Take your feet outer hips width apart, so a little wider than perhaps you'd usually stand. Melt the ribs to the thighs, let the head get heavy, even the back of the neck lengthen. You can grab opposite elbows or interlace the hands behind the nape of the neck, creating some traction. Perhaps you sway side to side, releasing the low back. Then release the hands to the earth. Turn the palms up in a gesture of receiving. Really let your head get heavy. Give it a little shake, releasing any mental clutter or expectation. And then on your next inhale, find a half lift. Hands can come to shins, thighs, top of mat. Exhale to fold, fingers in line with toes, forehead towards shins. Twice more, half lift, long spine, draw the shoulders down the back. Exhale, fold. Once more, half lift. This time place your left hand either directly in front of the face or on a brick. Right arm to sky, open up into a twist. Deep bend into left knee, straighten the right leg. Welcome to take a half bind here, opening the shoulder. Can you draw right shoulder back? Make sure both knees are still facing forward, but you're twisting from the navel, the ribs, the heart. Reach the right arm up if you took a half bind. Everybody release right hand down. Other side, deep bend into the right knee, left leg straightens, reach the left arm up. Can you pull the shoulders down the back? Half bind is here if you want it. Roll the left shoulder back. If you're in a half bind, reach the left arm up and release it down. If you took a brick, move it to the side, find your half lift. Exhale to fold. Slowly roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Press through the four corners of the feet, unravel the whole spine. Try to find presence in the becoming, the process, the journey. Tadasana is where we meet. Roll the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Turn the palms forward. Start to toe heel your feet closer together, either hips width or big toes can touch. Half sun salutations. Inhale, reach up, grow tall, ardha hastasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward, uttanasana. Find your half lift, let the spine get long, weight in the balls of the feet. Exhale to fold, back of neck long, shoulders pull away from ears. Reverse swan dive, gather up your presence, your energy, reach to the sky, palms touch. Hands to heart center. All right, we're adding on. This time, inhale, reach up, grab onto your left wrist, crescent up and over to the right for a side stretch. Come back to center. Take your opposite wrist up and over to the left. Try to knit the low ribs in as you spin your heart to the sky. And come back to center, swan dive forward all the way down. Half lift, long spine. And fold. Reverse swan dive, press to the feet, reach all the way up, palms touch. Hands come to heart center. Adding on again, inhale, reach up, find that side bend, grab onto your left wrist and crescent up and over to the right, open. Come back to center, take the opposite wrist up and over to the left, press through the inseam of the feet to get a little more lift. Come back to center, this time cactus the arms, lift the heart. Reach back to the sky, ardha hastasana, long spine. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Find your half lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, press to the feet, reach all the way up to sky, palms touch, and come to heart center. Separate the feet, hips width apart. Steady your gaze, your drishti on one spot, and then sink the hips low, graze fingertips on earth, reach the arms up, utkatasana, fierce pose here. Wrap your pinky fingers in, sink the weight into the heels, lift the heart, even knit the low ribs in, inhale. Exhale, fly the arms back, melt ribs to thighs. Twice more we'll pulse, inhale, lift up. Exhale, fly it back, crown of head reaches forward. Once more, lift up. Exhale, fly it back. Ground into your right foot, carry your left leg up into one-legged Tadasana with a bend in the left knee. Inhale here. Exhale, find figure four chair. Cross the left ankle above the right knee. Sink the hips down. Steady your gaze. Try to keep the hips level. So if your right hip is popping out to the side, square your hips off. One more breath. Hands at heart center. Stand up one-legged Tadasana. Hug left knee in towards chest. Pour your heart forward. Kick the foot back. Land the toes at the back of the mat. Crescent lunge is where we meet. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Stay for your exhale as you sink a little deeper. Inhale here. Exhale, release both hands down to the earth. Left hand stays grounded. Right arm sweeps back and up to the sky for a revolved lunge. 2 breaths here. Keep pressing the back thigh up. Twist from the navel, the ribs, the heart. 1 more breath. Release the top hand down to the inside of the front foot. Pivot to face the long edge of the mat for skandasana into your left leg, your back leg. Low side lunge. We'll take it side to side. Twice on each side, just starting to rinse out the hips. Keep the hands on the earth for more earth element support. Once you're even on both sides, swivel to the back of the mat. Drop your right knee down, untuck the right toes, Anjaneyasana towards the back. Lift the heart as you scissor the inner thighs together, breathe. Release the hands down. Tuck the back toes, step into plank pose or down dog. Vinyasa or hold it. Your version, you can drop knees, chest, chin to the earth or rinse through chaturanga. Lift the heart, bhujangasana or upward dog. And down dog is where we meet. Right leg rises, three-legged dog, open up the hip. Couple breaths here to explore, to feel. You can bend and extend the leg. And do some hip circles. Square off your hips, reach the right leg long and back, and then step it forward for a high lunge facing the back of your mat. Reach the arms forward and up, inhale. Stay for exhale. Inhale here. Open warrior 2. Flip your front palm up. Find reverse warrior in your warrior 2. Sink a little lower into your right knee. Take another inhale here. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, revolved lunge. Left hand down, right arm up. As you breathe, can you press the back thigh up? Try to keep your hips level. Pull your top shoulder back. Release the top hand down, pivot for a wide-legged fold, big toes in slightly. Inhale, find your half lift. Exhale, fold inward. Walk your hands in line with the feet. Draw the thighs up. Traction the feet towards each other. Breathe. And then pull the shoulders away from the ears. Right hand grounds in front of the face. Half lift in your wide fold. Reach the left arm up. Open across the wingspan. Release the top hand down. Other side. Right arm sweeps up. Open towards the back of your mat. Try to keep the hips level. Release the top hand down. Pivot to face the long edge of the mat. Or the short edge, the front of your mat, excuse me. Drop your right knee, untuck the right toes, Anjaneyasana, reach the arms forward and up. And release the hands down. Shift the hips back, half splits. Flex your left toes towards you. Right thigh bone is straight up and down. Here's where you can use the bricks to bring the earth up to you. As you inhale, lift the heart. As you exhale, pour your heart towards your toes. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Try to wrap your outer left hip bone down or your outer left hip down. Keep the heart open, the collarbones broad. One more breath. Bend into your left leg. You move the bricks to the side. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee up, and then step the back foot forward, sweep it all the way back into a cross-legged forward fold at the top of your mat. Pinky toe edges are touching, slight bend in the knees. Find a half lift. Exhale to fold. You can shimmy the hips side to side, little release for sciatica, a little love into the outer glutes for 3, 2, 1. Unravel the feet, big toes touch or feet hips width apart. Find your half lift and fold. Reverse swan dive, press the feet, reach all the way up to the sky, palms touch. Hands come to heart center, samastitihi. Pause here for a moment, lift the heart into the thumbs, soften the shoulders. Notice your feet on the earth, your steadiness, your connection to earth element, grounding. So even as we move in a mandala, a circle, inviting this flow, this continuous flow and spontaneity, you still have ability to connect to what roots you down, where it gives you support and strength. We'll move into our other side together. So separate the feet, hips width apart. Sink the hips low, graze fingertips on earth. Reach the arms up, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Sink the weight into the heels, lift the heart, inhale. Exhale, ardha utkatasana, fly the arms back, ribs to thighs, let the crown of the head reach forward. Inhale, sweep it back up, gathering your presence, your energy, utkatasana. Exhale, fly it back. And lift it up. Once more, fly it back. Inhale, sweep the arms up. This time we'll fly it back. Start to ground into your left foot. On your inhale, step into your left foot, reach right leg up to sky, one-legged Tadasana. Try to keep the hips level. Steady your drishti, your gaze on one spot. Bring your hands to heart center, cross right ankle over left knee, figure 4 chair. Breathe here. Let your right knee descend down. Keep your heart lifted. Slowly come back to center, one-legged Tadasana. Inhale. Exhale, pour your heart forward, kick the leg back. Land the toes at the back of the mat, high lunge, inhale. Stay for your exhale, squeeze inner thighs together, soften shoulders down back. Take another inhale here, grow tall. Exhale, pour your heart forward. Right hand grounds, left arm sweeps back up to the sky for a revolved lunge. Keep pressing your back thigh up, twist from the navel, the ribs, the heart, and then draw your shoulders down your back. One more breath. Release the top hand down, pivot to the long edge of the mat, the right side for skandasana, side lunge. This time as you move side to side, you can keep the hands on the earth, or you can start to find open arm twists. One hand grounds, opposite arm sweeps up. And you'll do that the other way. And just take it side to side. So when you're even on both sides, you'll pivot to face the back of the mat. Left knee drops this time for Anjaneyasana. Sweep the arm forward and back, lift the heart. As the heart lifts, can you soften shoulders down the back? Exhale, release the hands, tuck the back toes, step into down dog or rinse through a vinyasa, yogi's choice. Wherever you're choosing to be, can you be with your breath? And then left leg rises, 3-legged dog, open up the hip. Stack left hip on top of right, maybe bend and extend or do some circles. And just find some freedom in the hips. And reach the leg long and back. Step it forward. Facing the back of the mat, crescent lunge, rise up, inhale. Stay for your exhale, sink a little deeper. Inhale here, open up warrior 2 to the long edge, Virabhadrasana 2, hips and shoulders square to the long edge. Flip your left palm up, reverse. Side stretch here. Cartwheel the hands down for revolve lunge, right hand down. Left arm up, find their twist, hold for 3 breaths. For 2. And release the top hand down, pivot to face the long edge of the mat for a wide-legged stance, big toes in slightly. Find your half lift. Exhale, fold, hinge at the hips. This time you can grab peace fingers to big toes, pull the elbows out to the side and to the sky. Let the crown of the head descend down. Try to pull shoulders away from ears. Rock your weight onto the balls of the feet. Release, find your half lift. Walk your hands to the front of the mat. Anjaneyasana again. Drop the left knee down, untuck the back toes. Sweep the arms forward and up, lift the heart. Release the hands down, maybe to your bricks for half splits. Flex the front foot. Straighten the right leg. Try to keep a little micro bend in the knee, especially if you have a tendency to hyperextend or lock out the knees. Every inhale, can the spine get long? Every exhale, can the heart melt towards the toes? You can lengthen the tailbone back to get a little deeper sensation to the right hamstring. So if your pelvis was a bowl, it would be pouring forward. That's a kind of visual imagery that might help you deepen sensation. What are you noticing? What are you aware of? Bend into your front leg, tuck the back toes as you move the bricks to the side. Lift the back knee and then slide the back foot forward, cross-legged forward fold at the top of the mat. Pinky toes touch, find your half lift. Exhale, fold all the way, head heavy. You can shimmy the hips again. Find what serves you for 3, 2, and 1. Unravel the feet, half lift, and fold. Reverse swan dive, press to the feet, reach all the way up, palms touch. Hands come to heart center. Lift the heart into the thumbs, soften the shoulders, pause. Find your breath, find your intention. I'm going to keep moving in a mandala, but maybe holding for a little longer just to really open up the backs of our legs and our shoulders. We'll keep moving in a mandala, similar but building on. Separate your feet hips width apart. Sink your weight into the heels, graze the fingertips on the earth, reach up. Fly the arms back, ardha utkatasana. Twice more, lift up, weight is in the heels, lift the heart, fly it back. Once more, lift up, fly it back. Ground into the right foot, one-legged Tadasana, left leg reaches up. Figure 4 chair, sink in. Breathe here for 3, 4, 2. One more breath, here's our transition. Come back to your one-legged Tadasana, inhale. Hinge at the hips, pour your heart forward. You might want a brick here. Ardha Chandrasana is where we're meeting. Right hand comes to the earth or your brick. Open left hip on top of right. Flex the foot. Reach the left arm up. Half moon. For more earth element, gaze at the earth. Maybe gaze up at the sky. If you want the bind, Shavasana is here, grabbing onto the foot. Just getting a little hamstring or quad stretch and a little heart opening for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly release. Listen carefully. We'll step our foot back. Pivot the toes to the back of the mat, skandasana into the back. Hands on the earth for more support, or in prayer, fly the arms, skandasana side to side. Once more each side. And pivot to face the back of the mat. And then step your back foot in slightly. We're setting up for pyramid pose here. Yes, there are no bricks at the back of the mat, so if you want them, you might grab them. Inhale, find a half lift. And then exhale, melt your heart towards your toes, ribs towards thighs. So your left toes are facing directly towards the back of the mat, right toes are off to the corner. You can widen your stance like you're on railroad tracks. Sometimes that helps with balance. Hands can be on bricks. Maybe you clasp the hands behind the right thigh for 3, 2, and 1. Release. Step your right foot back a little bit. Plant the hands, left leg rises. 3-legged dog. Open up the hip. Square the hips off. Rinse through your vinyasa or skip it. You can always use your knees. Find your expression, what will work for your presence. When you're ready, right leg will rise. Open up the hip for 1 breath. Square the hips off, inhale. Step the foot forward. Crescent lunge towards the back of the mat. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open warrior 2. Straighten your right leg, reach your right arm forward, find Trikonasana, right hand towards the shin, maybe the earth, maybe that brick that you brought from the front of your mat to the back. Left arm up. You can drop the left hand behind the back for a half bind. Try to press into the ball mound of your right foot. Scoop your right hip down and towards the long edge as you lean your left shoulder back. One more breath. Go ahead and open up if you're in a half bind. Rise on up. Rotate your right toes in, heels in, find goddess pose, arms out to the side. Shins are straight up and down. Open into cactus arms. Lengthen your tailbone down. Breathe. And then release the hands to the thighs. Inhale, exhale, twist to left shoulder drops. Look over right. Come back to center. Other side. Come back to center. Reach the arms up. Lion's breath to let out the heat. Stick out the tongue. You can gaze at third eye center to cleanse the sight. Inhale, 2 more. 1 more. Straighten the legs, start out, and then open warrior 2 towards the front, bending into your left leg. Flip your front palm up, reverse. Exhale to cartwheel the hands down to the inside of the left leg. Pivot the back heel up and toe heel your left foot to the side. You can stay for a few breaths in runner's lunge, but eventually we'll all meet with our back knee to the earth. Untuck the back toes. Let the heart lift, the shoulders soften down the back. Yogi's choice here. You can stay up on the hands, come to bricks, maybe even lower to forearms or forearms to earth. Try to keep the heart open. Breathe. Stay here, or maybe find a twist. Right hand will step to the outside of the mat, fingers point away, keeping the right shoulder open. Left toes to 10 o'clock, press into the left thigh, open the heart. Stay or find the quad stretch, bend your back leg, reach back for the foot. Lift the heart. If you want more shoulder opening, kick the leg back. If you want more quad stretch, heel towards sit bone as you spiral the heart up. And slowly release. All 10 toes face forward. Your top of back foot can drop if you want. One last thing here, thread your left arm behind the right. Left hand will come, or thread your left arm behind the left foot and to the left. And you'll sink it down. Maybe that's where you stay, or maybe you start to wiggle your left shoulder underneath. You can grab onto the ankle. You can tuck the back toes and lift the back knee up. Maybe you reach the left hand back. Maybe the right arm back, flying airplane or flying wings, or take a bind. Try to square your right hip forward. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Release both hands to the inside. Take a moment to readjust. Find your stability. On your inhale, drop your back knee, lift your heart. Exhale to straighten both legs, pulling the left sit bone back. 2 more times. Drop the back knee, lift the heart. Straighten. Once more. And straighten. Bend into the front foot. Step your back foot to the outside of the right hand for malasana yogi squat. Sink down, hands to heart center, lift the heart. Breathe here. Press the elbows into the knees, lift the heart up. Soften the shoulders down. Find a little mula bandha here, that root lock, almost like you're holding your pea. Release the hands, lift the hips. Toe heel the feet in. Find your half lift. Exhale to fold. Slow roll all the way to stand. We'll meet in Tadasana at the top of the mat. One more side, and then we work into our peak pose. Take a moment to reset, maybe one hand on heart, one hand on belly. Feel the four corners of your feet ground, the heart lift, the shoulders soften. Even the ears slide back so the back of the neck is long, ears stacked over shoulders. When you're ready, separate the feet hips width apart, release the hands. Sink the hips low, graze fingertips on earth, reach up, Utkatasana. Exhale, fly it back, Ardha Utkatasana, weight in the heels. Inhale, gather up, heart is lifting. Exhale, fly it back. Once more, heart lifts. Fly it back. Bend ground into your left foot, reach your right leg up. Figure 4, cross right ankle over left knee, sink down. 3 breaths here. Try to keep the hips level, relax the shoulders. You can even tilt the tailbone back to deepen the opening in the right hip. And here we go, really mindful transition into our Ardha Chandrasana. Slowly rise up, one-legged Tadasana. Hinge at the hips, pour the heart forward, left hand comes to a brick, maybe the earth. Right leg reaches back, stack right hip on top of left. Reach the right arm up. Pull the right shoulder back so your shoulder's in one line. Maybe take Chapasana, the bind here, for a little quad stretch. Breathe for 3, 2. If you're in Chapasana, release it. Mindful transition into skandasana, right foot. Bend the front foot, step it back as lightly as you can. Pivot the right toes out. Skandasana, side lunge. Again, variations here, maybe open arm twist, maybe even binding. Find what works. Couple breaths, side to side. Notice if the knee wants to hyperextend, keep a little bend in your straight leg. Eventually you'll pivot to face the back of the mat. Step your left foot towards the back of the mat a little closer, setting up for pyramid pose. Then pull your outer right hip back, square your hips towards the back of the mat, find your half lift. Exhale to fold. Heart melts towards the toes. Pull the outer right sit bone back, squeeze the inner thighs together, maybe a hand variation here, clasping non-habitual clasp behind the left thigh. Slowly release the hands down. Step your left foot back a little more, and then sweep your right leg long and back, 3-legged dog. Maybe rinse through Vinyasa, open the hip, find your freedom of expression. What serves you? Down dog is where we meet. In a couple breaths. Left leg rises, 3-legged dog, open up the hip. Square the hips off, step it forward. Crescent at the back of the mat. Inhale here. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, find length in the torso, open warrior 2. Straighten your left leg, setting up for Trikonasana. Maybe shorten the stance if that serves you. Reach left arm forward and release the left hand down. Right arm up. Option to drop the back hand, top hand behind the back. Roll the right shoulder back. I don't know if you can hear, but it's starting to drizzle, so a lot of the water element hips are working. Press into the ball mount of the left foot. Really roll the left shoulder back, breathe. Unravel the half bind, reach up. Rotate left toes in, heels in, goddess pose. Sink down. Relax the shoulders. Maybe close the eyes. Since we're working with the water element, maybe even start to create some movement in the hips. One direction, and then the other. Breathe. Relax the shoulders. Relax the jaw, the tongue, notice. And straighten. Fold forward all the way down. Find your half lift in your wide-legged stance. Plant the hands. This time try to toe heel your feet as wide as possible, getting into your depth of a straddle. You can come down to forearms as desired. Still find a little traction of the feet moving inward. Here for 3, 2, and 1. Come on up. Toe heel the feet in. Use the support of your hands. Find a half lift in your wide fold, hands to hips, and rise up. Rotate the right toes forward, warrior 2. Flip the front palm up, reverse, inhale here. Cartwheel the hands down to the inside of your front foot. Back heel pivots up, toe heel the right foot to the side for your lizard lunge. Again, you can keep the back knee lifted for a little strengthening first, or when you're ready, drop the back knee down. Stay up on the hands, lower to forearms, yogi's choice. Feel into the flow in your body. Keep the heart open in whichever variation you've chosen. And take the left hand to the outside. Turn the left fingers away from you a little bit to keep the left shoulder open. Right toes to 2 o'clock. Press into the right thigh. Open the heart to the sky. Quad stretches here if you want it. Bend the back leg. Reach back for the foot. Lift the heart. Kick the foot back. Maybe a little more quad stretching. Heel towards sit bone. Roll the heart up. Release the hand down. We're working into that bind now, so pivot your right toes forward if you turn them out. Take your right hand, thread it behind the right foot to the right of the right foot. Maybe that's where you stay. Maybe you grab onto the ankle. Work the right shoulder underneath the right leg. Eventually, you might lift up the back knee. Send the arms back like you're flying, or take a bind. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Release. Hands to the inside of the front foot. Pause. Take a moment to reset up your stance. Inhale, bend the back knee, lift the heart. Exhale, straighten. Twice more, bend and extend here. Bend the back knee, opening the front of the left leg, and then straighten and scissor the inner thighs together. Once more. And straighten. Bend into the front leg, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Malasana again, yogi squat. Just notice if this one feels any different. A few options here, yogi's choice. If you're craving a little more fire and you want to go into Bakasana, crow pose, it is here for you. Follow that, guide within, maybe take open arm twists or a bind. Be here for a couple more breaths. One more breath wherever you are. Plant the hands, the feet, lift the hips. Start to toe heel the feet in. Find your half lift. Exhale to fold. Take a really, really deep bend in the knees. Take your hands on the outside of each leg, back behind you. And then cross the wrists. Bring the hands to the inside. Grab onto the fronts of the shins. Ribs to thighs. Start to send your sit bones to the sky, the head heavy. If there's a different forward fold you prefer, take that. Here for 3, for 2, and 1. Release, half lift, and fold. Slowly roll yourself up. All right, so we're moving into bird of paradise. I'll give us options so you can stop at any point, just honoring what your threshold is today. I'll also do the first side demoed with the strap and the other side without. So separate your feet, maybe more like outer hips width apart. When you're ready, reach up, ardha hastasana. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at the hips, all the way down. Find your half lift, plant your left hand down, and take your right hand with the strap to the sky. You might throw the strap behind the back first, sometimes that's helpful. So we're coming into that twist, forward fold twist. You might just stay here working into the twist, really good for the IT band, also some fire element, or drop the top arm behind the back for a half bind. Weave the left hand in between the legs, grab onto the strap. Start to ground into your right foot, pop your left heel up, and then as you ground into the right foot, start to lift the left leg up to stand. Maybe this is where you stay with a bent leg, try to open across the chest. Maybe you start to straighten the leg. You can play with your gaze, looking to the right. And back to center. And release. Play a little longer if you desire. Unravel right arm to sky and release down. We'll go right into our other side. Right hand grounds, left arm sweeps up. Deep bend into the right knee as you straighten left leg. Drop the top hand behind the back. This could be your threshold today, how to honor ahimsa in the body. Or thread right arm between the legs. Grab onto clothing, maybe the bind, the fingers, the wrist. Start to ground into your left foot as you kick your right heel off the earth. Start to stand up. Steady your gaze on one spot, your drishti. Try to open across the chest. As you feel ready, extend right leg straight. Maybe look to the left. Play as long as you desire. Come down as you're ready. Release the right hand down, unravel left arm to sky. And release. Find your half lift. Fold inward. Start to toe heel your feet in towards each other. Rise up onto the tippy toes and then sink your heels down into a little yogi into a little ball. Words are hard today, apparently. Breathe here. And then take the knees wide, arms wide, variation of malasana here. Try to find cat pose in the upper back, really rounding. Breathe for 3, maybe one day the heels reach the earth for 2. One more. Stay or take the arms back, pressing the triceps into the shins, or binding behind the heels and really tucking the head in. Inviting a sense of pratyahara, this withdrawal of the senses, turning inward. And slowly release. Plant the hands, lift the hips up, step back, and rinse through a vinyasa. Eventually where we'll meet is our hip opener on the right side. Right leg rises, open up the hip, square it off and take it into pigeon. Figure 4 on your back is an alternate. When you're ready, you'll bow down. Three slow breaths here. See where you can surrender any gripping, any over-efforting. Allow for ease, allow for what naturally wants to release. Relax the jaw, the tongue, even the space between the brows, let that widen. Stay for one more breath. I'll give 2 transitions depending on what pose you're in. If you're in your pigeon, lift your heart. Rock onto your right shin and find a half straddle. We'll go ahead and take this over into a side bend. Just finding a couple breaths here. If you're on figure 4 and you're back, you can release the left sole of the foot down, grab onto the big toe, open up into hand to big toe on your back. Option to have the knee bent or extend it. Option to reach the left arm up for a little side stretch. Okay, Take the version that calls you. If you're in the half straddle, really roll the heart to the sky. One more inhale. And then reach the top arm back, turn the thumb down, maybe take it into a half bind, open up a little more. Release the half bind, one more pull. And then both hands to the front of the mat, windmilling down, tuck the back toes, send your right leg long and back, shake it out. We'll come to our hip opener on the other side. If you're on your back, you'll just switch. Otherwise, left leg rises, maybe open up the hip. Eventually, left knee lands behind the left wrist, back toes untuck. Try to square your hips forward, lift the heart, soften the shoulders, and then just be with whatever is spontaneously emerging. I have to laugh a little bit. There was only sunshine in the forecast, so this rain feels very appropriate for Sahaja. When you're ready, pour your heart forward. And just find the depth of either your pigeon pose or figure 4 on your back. If you're in figure 4 on your back, you might really think about lengthening your tailbone forward to deepen the sensation, melting the small of your back to the earth as well as the shoulders. Stay for a few breaths. Where can you soften? Where can you relax? Where can you invite whatever wants to release to release? And slowly come on up. If you're in pigeon, we'll take that into our side straddle, rocking onto our left hip. Right hand guides down the right leg as the left arm sweeps over, crescenting. Roll the top shoulder back. If you're in figure 4, you'll take peace fingers to your left big toe. Open up, hand to big toe. Maybe extend right leg straight, crescenting right arm up and over. For those in the straddle, if you want the half bind, loop the top arm behind the back, roll the heart open a little more. Once, release. And plant both hands down. We're gonna all meet on our backs. So if you're in pigeon, you might rinse through your final vinyasa. Otherwise, we'll all eventually meet on our back, sealing our practice with one twist and shavasana. Hug right knee in, left leg long. Scooch the hips an inch to the right, drop the knee to the left. Just allow the body to grow heavy, the breath to rinse through like rinse water or rainwater. And back to center. And switch, right leg long, hug left knee in, and twist. Can you allow what's emerging to emerge and just be with what is? Come back to center. Hug everything in. If there's anything else you need in practice, honor that. I'll leave you in shavasana for you to savor and enjoy it. Honor it as long as you wish. Legs long, arms, palms, arms in a low V, palms up in a gesture of receiving your practice.